Dear students, we already studied about poverty and its different types. Now we are going to discuss about poverty line. Poverty line is the estimated minimum level of income needed to secure the necessities of life. It is the line which indicates the level of purchasing power required to satisfy the minimum needs of a person. It represents the capacity to satisfy the minimum level of human needs. The line divides the people into two groups, above poverty line and below poverty line. Now, let us examine how to determine the poverty line. There are many ways of measuring poverty. One way is to determine it by monetary values of the minimum calorie intake that was estimated at 2400 calories for a rural person and 2100 for a person in the urban area. Based on this, in 2011-12, the poverty line was defined for rural areas as consumption worth rupees 816 per person a month, and for urban area it was rupees 1000. That means in rural area, if a person is able to earn rupees 816 per month and above, and in urban area, rupees 1000 per month and above is considered as above poverty line. Though the government uses monthly per capita expenditure as proxy for income of households to identify the poor. Do you think this mechanism satisfactorily identifies the poor households in our country? This mechanism groups all the poor together and does not differentiate between the very poor and other poor. It takes into account expenditure on food and few select items only as proxy for income. There are many factors other than income and assets which are associated with poverty. For instance, the accessibility to basic education, health care, safe drinking water, and sanitation. It is helpful in identifying the poor as a group to be taken care of by the government. But it would be difficult to identify who among the poor need help the most. This mechanism for determining the poverty line also does not take into consideration social factors that trigger and perpetuate poverty, such as illiteracy, ill health, lack of access of resources, lack of civil and political freedoms. From this point of view, development is about removing the obstacles to the things that a person can do in life, such as illiteracy, ill health, lack of access to resources, or lack of civil and political freedoms.